Well, I am finally racing my Miata again. It has been probably over a year or just about a year since I last raced it at the DC Pro Solo, and ever since then it's just been sitting in my garage on these terrible, crusty daisy wheels. Have barely driven it. And that's because I've been very fortunate in being able to race a lot of other cars in the past year. I bought myself a Honda Fit that I've been doing some more track stuff with. I've been racing a Civic Type R, Acura NSX, so very fortunate to have access to all these other cool cars. But at the end of the day, I feel bad just watching my car sit here in the garage. And to be quite frank with you, it is probably more fun than all these other cars I've been driving. So very, very excited to bring her back out this weekend and shake her down. But since it's been sitting for a year, we've got to go through some very basic maintenance, some safety checks, just to make sure that she is good to race. All right, on the list for today, pretty basic maintenance items. We're gonna do an oil change on the car. And since it's been sitting in the winter and it gets super cold in Ohio, I took all the water out and put regular coolant in. But usually when I'm racing, I like to run just distilled water, a splash of water wetter, and then also just a little bit of coolant as well. But usually tracks like it better when you run water because if you spill, it's not as slippery, and water does have better cooling properties than traditional coolant. In addition to that, we're gonna be doing some spark plugs. I'm gonna put the under tray back on, and then while we're in there, we're going to go in and re-lube all of the guide pins and all of the brake hardware just to make sure that's all fresh and good to go. But otherwise, just going to be doing a nut and bolt check, retorquing everything, paint marking everything, making sure everything is good to go. So let's get to work. Alright, so I just got done draining the oil, and while I was down here I noticed quite a bit of oil leakage. I did see a couple drops on the ground in the garage from letting it sit for a few months, but it's only a few drops, so I wasn't too concerned. But it turns out these hose clamps right here for the oil return back into the drain pan or the oil pan, these were basically just finger tight, so I went ahead and took care of that. I'll clean this area up a little bit just so we can see if it's still leaking in the future. Well, boy am I glad I took care of these. My car kind of always runs a little bit rich. At full load watt, it's at around 9 AFR when it should be more around 11. I have a fuel card, I've tried playing with it, but no matter what I do, I can't get it any leaner. So I'd rather run a little rich than too lean, but side effect of that is I chew through spark plugs. So got a new set, we're gonna gap them to 0.032 and throw them in the car. All right, so moving on to the brakes. Pads have plenty of life for an autocross. So basically what I'm just gonna do is re-lube this guide pin, clean off all the hardware, re-lube all of that, and then just throw it back together. Pretty simple. I'd say, successful day. I forgot just how much fun this thing is to drive, and very glad I got to take it out for the season opener, but definitely felt rusty out there. Not just with driving. I mean, I really struggled getting used to driving a car without ABS again, so I've been pretty spoiled with driving some more modern cars recently, and also getting back into left foot braking. But even besides that, just like walking the course, for example, I feel like that's a skill that needs to be practiced, and after not autocrossing for all of the winter time, definitely feel rusty. But yeah, excited to get back out there, and we will see you soon.